Hi, it's Lisa from Lisa's Sanctuary. I got a question about working in the community services, welfare space when you're a victim survivor of domestic violence, childhood abuse, neglect, or any other type of trauma. It's really common, I've found, for people who have experienced certain situations to want to help the people who are in those same situations. It's it's natural for people who have experienced it to, grow up to be carers, nurturers, fixers, healers, teachers. They want to help and they want to show people how it's done, to make a difference, to make an impact, to give that support to somebody else who, is in the same situation that they were. And so I think it's really important to address your own trauma before entering this industry or this field. And that's not to say that you need to be, completely healed, because I think we're always on our healing journeys. But you do need to understand what your triggers are, where your biases lie, and you will have different views on different types of people, different types of situations, depending on what you lived and what you experienced. When I'm working with women who, are experiencing or have experienced domestic violence, it can sometimes be not challenging, but I'm more aware when I'm working with her partner or ex-partner as well, because I often work with families in the context of my role in child protection. And so you do need to understand and really know and acknowledge any biases you have, any strong views you have, and these will change over time, and that's okay. I think it's really important to obtain your own professional. I'm just trying to move the sun. I think it's really important to engage with your own services and your own professionals along your journey, not only to unpack your trauma, your triggers, your responses, how you want to, how to move forward, but also to understand how that process works of, intake or making appointments or attending appointments. And you can get some really good feedback for yourself, for your own practice, and your own role based on how you've been made to feel or how you felt during sessions in services with other professionals too. God, I'm really doing a terrible job at this sun right now. Um, and I think the other thing, to realize is, like I said before, you're always on your healing journey. You will get triggered by this job. Or jobs like this. I thought I believed that I was far enough along my healing journey to be able to enter this field and to work in this field, and I've still been triggered. Sitting with other people's trauma on a daily, basis. I'm so sorry. Sitting with other people's trauma and hearing their stories is triggering. And some of it just feels really shit. What some people go through and experience is just really shit sometimes. And sometimes you don't have the answers. And sometimes you can't fix people. And sometimes you just can't help someone or support someone enough for them to make, real change. And you have to be okay with that, because you can't fix people. Can't do it for them. You can't do this work for people, but you do have to do the work yourself first. If I had entered this, in child protection 5 years ago, I would not have coped at all. It is triggering, and I think that it's naive to think that you won't be triggered or that you won't have a trauma response enacted or that something won't bother you. I don't think it'll ever get easier for me to sit in the same room as a child sex offender. No matter how much healing I do, no matter how many services I see, no matter how many times I hypnotize myself, that's just not ever going to be something that I'm thrilled about, for obvious reasons. But I have to be at a point where I can do my job and I can try my best to, enact or support, impact, change. But sometimes you just have to realize that you're going to be in situations that are difficult and challenging, and all the other emotions. You'll get angry and you'll get frustrated and you'll feel disgusted and you'll be ashamed for people, and you will probably cop a lot of people's frustration, because trauma is difficult, and I never take anything personally. I've been called every name under the sun, I think. I don't take it personally, and plus I used to be in love with a man who spoke to me like that, so hearing it from somebody who is really, really hurting, and I'm there to do a job, is, I don't take it personal. I'm not offended by what people say, because that's their experience. And I think that if you can get to that place in your journey, then by all means enter the community services, because it's so needed. It's so needed. I feel so strongly that the voices of victims, survivors, thrivers of domestic violence, childhood abuse, trauma are heard. Those voices need to be input into this space. It needs to come from people who the services are designed for, who they are there to help and support, and from those that have been there with what needs to happen next, what works, what doesn't. And those voices are so important. Get into, if you want to study something and enter the field, do your work first, but absolutely just follow what feels best for you. Have a great day. You are significant because you are, and I love you because you exist, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.